Welcome to Wind and Fire. I'm Gene Packwood, the chairman of Anglican Renewal Ministries Canada. I've enjoyed hearing Janice, Renee, Unga, and her husband Daniel Joseph share their experiences of being baptized in the Holy Spirit and more. In this episode, I asked Janice if being baptized in the Holy Spirit changed the way she lived her life in any way.
Oh yes, lots of significant changes. As I mentioned before, I was a little bit rebellious. I love to party. I love to drink. And I honestly spilled a lot of vulgarities when I was at that age. It was really bad. My parents were they were a little bit disappointed with the lifestyle that I have. So I would have gone out with my friends and I wouldn't be back home until like 5 a.m. in the morning. And my dad, he was a fitter. He works in a shipyard, so he has to wake up like 3:30. And so when he wakes up, he didn't see me in the house. No, I'm not in my room. And he was getting ready to leave the house, and that's where I came back. And he were, it's a very, it was a weekly thing for them. So when I was filled with the Spirit, and I asked myself a few questions actually. I asked myself, like, do I want to continue this lifestyle that I have? Because obviously it was meaningless for me, and that's why I called my friend, And I asked myself, what are the things I want to do in life that's more meaningful, And I prayed. I said, God, help me. If I need to change something in my life, help me to change. And being a very young Christian at that time, I know that, to be a good testimony is very important. I don't want to go around, still scolding, using bad words, and stuff. But it was hard because I've been doing that for many years. It was really, really hard, So I actually told the Lord, help me to change the way I speak. Help me to change the way I behave. And surprisingly, as time goes by, I just stopped. The words became lesser, the vulgarities became lesser. I use proper sentences, and I felt that there's no need to add in certain bad words to make the language colorful, So it was a very significant change in my life. Even my friends noticed that. Another thing that's very significant in my life is that I have stopped drinking. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I love to drink. As a party goer, I just have drinks on my hand all the time. I also smoke a little, but it was very significant because I made a prayer to the Lord that I hope that I have a change of lifestyle. And what happened was that I stopped, totally don't have the desire to drink anymore for many years. In fact, until I became a more mature Christian, and I realized that I can actually drink, for special occasions like birthdays or weddings, but other than that, I don't really have a strong desire for drinking. And of course, I don't smoke anymore. It's interesting because somehow when you used to be I was a casual smoker, but still, even the smell of cigarettes, made me feel very uncomfortable. So I think it was a really a significant change, and my friends could actually see that difference in my life because they know that I love drinking, especially, and I love partying. So that was one of those things that make a difference in my life with the Holy Spirit. I also stopped partying till so late. I actually came home at like 10, and it's like 10, compared to 5 a.m. Such a great difference, right? And my parents could see a difference in my life. They were very amazed by what's happening. Even though as typical Asians, they will not say a single thing, but you can see from their expression, how they start to
talk to me in a nicer way, and I too started talking to them in a more respectful way, because as a younger, as an older teenager, a young adult, I was really rude to them. I never greeted them, not in the morning. I left the home like, and coming back and going in as if it was a hotel room. I don't eat with them. I just do what I want. So there was a change in my life. I spoke nicely to my parents. I try to understand where they are coming from when they say certain things. Yeah, so it just changed, being baptized in the Holy Spirit just changed my life just like that. And even my classmates in my high school, they were amazed. They were like, who is this person? And so even, and they cannot believe it, when I have become a different person, and I know that it's not like an act or forcing myself. It's not, because it was so natural. And my heart started to change, things started to change. Yeah, it was just so amazing. Yep. Yeah, I guess the challenging things that happen is that when you hear the Spirit of God telling you something, you have to follow His leading. And many times people will think that it's crazy, Yeah, so for example, a very simple example. So because both my husband and I, we came from Singapore, right? And then we felt the Spirit of God telling us, in our marriage, during our marriage, we felt the Spirit of God telling us to move to Malaysia. And it's like from Canada and you move to US, we are just across the border. And the crazy thing that we have to do is to travel in and out through the border every single day.
Oh.
After work, and then you travel back, and then you come back. And we were on a motorcycle. We do not have cars at that time. So your rain or shine, you're always on that bike. So there were days that you felt so, annoyed because of the rain, and you have to wear this heavy raincoat on the motorcycle. So moving to Malaysia is something that Singaporeans rarely do. In fact, the reason was because it's too much inconvenience. You have to go through the custom, the immigration. You got to get your passport checked every time. But we just felt the Lord leading us to stay there in Malaysia. We told our family members, and it was a very obvious no or surprise look from them. But we felt that we have to follow what the Lord told us. Yeah, and even moving to Canada itself is something that the Lord told us to do. So we were in Malaysia for about 5 years, and then suddenly, the Spirit of God hint to us that we should come to Canada. So the Lord actually gave a word to my husband, go therefore thee to Canada. And I was like, what? That's like all the way to the end of the globe, But yeah, but we're here. People still feel that it's crazy, but you know what? We know that it's God that led us here. Because when we came in 2019, we were here for a few months. After a few months, the pandemic actually started. This whole COVID thing started to spread from different places all over the world. If we were still staying in Malaysia, we might not be able to be in and out of the border at that time. It's going to be hard for us. Yeah, so coming to Canada at that point, before the pandemic, was really led by God. Yep. So it was tough because people don't agree with us. They gave us weird look, especially family members. It's tough. They will give us a weird look, or they will say certain things that doesn't sound nice. But we tell them that, we felt the Lord leading us, and they were like, you guys are crazy, Yeah. So these are the tough things that we go through.
Well, things might be tough from time to time, but Janice has tasted and seen that the Lord is good in her experiences of the Holy Spirit. I'm Gene Packwood for Wind and Fire and Anglican Renewal Ministries Canada. Thanks for watching.